Do you want to do Cody Gakpo now?
Yeah.
We probably should, shouldn't we?
Topical. Same side.
Outstanding.
Different class. You and I are big Gakpo fans from day one, mate. So I got Chris to make a t-shirt of him, mate, for the merch. But it's just a super intelligent footballer. He's got a little bit of everything. He's got physical presence. He's got pace when he wants it. Surprisingly quick. Everybody knows what he's going to do, but nobody can stop him from doing it. It's kind of like, he's going to come inside and have a go. I must stop that. And then he smashes one past the keeper. And boy, did he smash that ball, by the way. He got hold of that, didn't he? I love the way the ball stops in midair. There's no spin on the ball. It goes in the back of the net. He's absolutely belted that, hasn't he? And this is really difficult because from a football and intelligence point of view, he's probably the most intelligent front player we've got in the squad for all of that stuff. It must be hard for him to not play every week because he's good enough to play every week. Yeah. But Diaz has turned up and just done something different from previous season.
Well, Diaz has always had the natural ability, and he reminds me of street footballer Diaz, and that's coming from and it's such a stereotype, so forgive me, but he does, and he'll fight for every single corner of the footy pitch. Nothing's a lost cause, Louis Diaz, and I love that about him. And there's elements of that again in his goal tonight. I felt like because he makes that for himself. He brings the ball down, manipulates it into a space where he shoots and scores, brilliant. But Cody Gakpo, you said it there, and this is sort of a legacy of my opinion left over from Jurgen Klopp a little bit, because Klopp was so desperate to play him sometimes, almost at the detriment of Cody Gakpo, because he was playing him just wherever he fit him on the pitch, basically, because he had Louis Diaz, so he was left wing. He had Nunes, Jota, whoever leading the line. So Gakpo played midfield because he was so... It's the intelligence thing. He was so desperate to play Cody Gakpo, he just had to get him on there. And we tried the false nine thing for a little bit. But again, the only reason that false nine thing was even a remote possibility was because it's Cody Gakpo, because he's such an intelligent footballer. We love Bobby Firmino. We had one of the most intelligent footballers Liverpool ever owned, in my opinion, for Bobby Firmino, the way he was able to sort of orchestrate what went on around him. And we signed Cody Gakpo, and probably Pep Linders and Jurgen Klopp went, there's a little bit of him in that. Ultimately, there wasn't to the same extent, but there was enough, you know what I mean? And you said it there, it must do his head in that he's come off the back of a brilliant summer for Holland, started the season exceptionally well for Liverpool whenever he's been asked, mostly in the cup competitions, of course, and for what it's worth, 2 goals tonight, we'll talk about them in a minute, but he loves the Carabao Cup. He absolutely bossed the Carabao Cup last season as well, so he loves this. But come off the back of his Euros for the Dutch team, which is exceptional, and he's ran into a Louis Diaz in just red hot form. But those two, every time either of them on the pitch, whether it be together or individually, are at it, and they're pushing each other every single step of the way, and they're getting the best out of each other for it. It's a pleasure to see. Like, we love Mo Salah, and Mo Salah's numbers are silly, and they forever will be and should be, hopefully, as long as he's a Liverpool Football Club. But he's never had anybody as an understudy, and he doesn't need it ultimately. But these two feel like, because of the quality of each other and because of the form of each other, they're really going for it. And it's again, you said it a minute ago, it's a great headache for Arne Slot.
Yeah, you're right, and it is good to see. We don't have enough of that, being honest with you.
That competition for places. And
players at the top of their form. No, true. You tend to find one person pops out of midfield because they've wavered a little bit. It's the elegance, Stan. He's 6'4". He's a unit, and he just looks so elegant. And you don't see many 6'4" players who are as elegant as that. The only super big guy that had any elegance would be Zidane, and I'm not comparing him to Zidane.
Well, I was thinking
the motion of how he travels with the ball isn't. There is a likeness, but doesn't mean he's as good as Zidane. Before everyone comes for me for saying that, but for a big guy, the balance and the elegance, that's the point I'm making. Yeah. The balance and the elegance is unusual, and I could watch him all for hours. I just never tire of watching him play. No. And football, because it's become so systemic, can go through 15-minute spells of tedium. Sometimes it can be boring to watch. When he gets on the ball, his first thought is, right, how can I get my man under pressure? And if I can't get my man under pressure, how can I get him to a point where I can switch it inside to someone else who can put someone else under pressure? And I'm here for that all day long. I'll sit and watch that till the cows come home, mate.
No, absolutely. He isolated Tariq Lamptey once as well. Tariq Lamptey has a bit of a nightmare against him.
The horror show tonight,
he did.
Apart from his goal.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. He was, the next big thing not 2 years ago. And I know injuries have curtailed the development somewhat as well to give him a little bit of leeway. Tonight. But he had a rough night tonight, and that was mainly down to Cody Gakpo, wasn't it? To be honest, he just bullied him on the ground and in the air. Obviously, he nicked the ball off him for one of the goals as well. And he was unlucky not to end the night with an assist as well. Although had he got the assist for Szoboszlai, I'm not sure the pass was great, to be fair. Szoboszlai's finish wasn't at it either. He may not have scored the goal because the second goal comes like a minute later. And it was almost a case of, it was like a 3-on-3. I think it was evenly matched numerically, but he just thought, I'm going on my own this time. I'm not passing it, and smashes it. And I loved both finishes for various reasons. He hits the ball so cleanly on both occasions, but it's the difference in the finishes as well. Because you said it before, the one of them he sets from outside the other post and it bends back in just perfectly. Luke's got no chance whatsoever. Top draw finish. And then the second one, he goes the other way. He goes towards the near post and just smashes it. And I think Evil said in the Watchalong comms, like, keeper's been beaten near post. It's past him.
It's giving him the eyes.
But not even the keeper could know he's going there before he's had a chance to get anywhere near it. The ball's in the back of the net. He just is so smooth. Yeah, he is so clean. He's got no chance. Let's do the numbers. We're going to do numbers for Diaz as well, but I thought we could sort of group them together because it's a good sort of conversation piece. From SofaScore, Diaz gets a 7.2. Obviously, the goal, as we've mentioned, 53 touches, 90% passing accuracy, 1 cross, 1 key pass, 2 out of 3 dribble attempts successful, 5 out of 10 ground duels, whereas Cody Gakpo on the pitch for obviously about 20 odd minutes less, 2 goals, 77% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, again, unlucky not to get an assist, I think it's fair to say, 2 shots on target, the goals of course, 3 out of 7 ground duels and 2 out of 5 dribble attempts. So a 7.2 rather from Luis Diaz and an 8.9 from Cody Gakpo.
I'd upgrade them to a 7.5 and a 9.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I would. Gakpo man the match
by a street, mate.
Yeah. I know we got it on the telly.
By a street, mate. It was just a standout performance tonight. People would have travelled from here to there to watch that and come away just with a smile on their face because of Gakpo. Yeah. And how many times have you and I done this?
Yeah. I've always been a fan. And it sounds like we're sort of both being sort of like with the benefit of hindsight, but we've literally both sort of extolled the virtues.
We were working together when we signed him, mate, and when he come to the door, both were like, that'll do nicely because he's an intelligent guy and great footballer.
We didn't even see much of it tonight, but it's often the way he just turns players and just leaves them for dead. And when he gets going, that sort of stride of running, the running power and the elegance he has, as you referenced earlier, people just fall off him. They try and stop him, but you can't. He's a force to be reckoned with when he's on his night, and he's on his night tonight. Just to round off on them two, just stay quick. We're playing Brighton on Saturday. Whose shirt is that?
After tonight's performance, psychologically and psychology-wise, plays a big part in football. I'm going with Gakpo at the weekend purely because what you want is the squad to come out of the pitch and go, oh, not him again. Because single-handedly tonight, he's taking them apart. There's also a caveat there for somebody like Gakpo who's played that well. So there's a caveat to the rest of the squad to say when these cup games come along and you get the opportunity, you 100%. Put in a performance and you can be that. I know where you're going with this. You know what I mean? Meritocracy and it should be like that. And you can play the next Premier League game or whatever it may be, Champions League game, whatever. And also, I don't know how much you can read into it, but him coming off on the 70-minute mark and Diaz seeing the rest of the 90 might lend itself to whatever happens at the weekend as well. I would go with Gakpo. Yeah, interesting. I would not be against it, but then they're both playing so well. But then if he went with Diaz, I wouldn't be disappointed. Exactly. What a lovely problem to have. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.